Because this woman, this stalwart, this champion for justice, this Harvard-educated lawyer, this homegirl from Houston, Texas, this woman who represents you all at the highest level of government in the United States of America. I mean, Monique Presley, Roland Martin, Teresa Hudson, she never forgets where she came from, and she never forgets Philonise, who she's fighting for. She is soon to be the chairperson of the Criminal Justice Committee of the United States House of Representatives. She will never, ever stop fighting. She will never, ever forget who she's fighting for. And she will never forget that Black Lives Matter. Y'all give it up for my hero, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
I will unheal myself, my brother. I am Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. I represent the 18th Congressional District, but as we say in the church, our territory is expanded. And I am delighted to be welcomed by the host and the anchor of LaMarque and Galveston, and that is Attorney Hudson, as well as the leader of the NAACP, Madam Yancey. Thank you so very much for giving me my permission to come into Galveston County. Is that all right? Let me also say that the other definition is that I am a survivor of the domestic terrorism that occurred in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, January the 6th. Let me be very clear. I'm not ashamed to say that we were attacked. We were at war. It was a domestic terrorist act. They were carrying Ku Klux Klan regalia, a Confederate flag. They put up a noose in the most sacred place, your place. I have often said this house belongs to no one but you all, each and every one. Brother Crump, I think that we have shown to the world that we got to fix America.
Fix America.
We have shown to the world that America, with all of her beautiful values in the Constitution, has now lost her way.
Amen.
By being provoked by a person that one could never imagine to be President of the United States and to incite a riot and domestic terrorist act. The reason why I say this, because I am standing next to a mother who is hurting.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm standing next to a mother who is asking the question, why?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm standing in the midst of families like Pamela Turner's sister, the family who I know. I'm so proud of how strong they have been. And their day of victory will come.
Amen.
Sandra Bland's family. It's amazing that we have had these as our extended family members. Tamir Rice's mother, Eric Garner's mother, Trayvon Martin's mother, and family. Breonna Taylor. Of course, Brother Blake's father I spoke to and saw his pain. And all of those in between. And we see, Brother Crump, that those individuals, unarmed, fleeing, maybe our good brother Joshua wanted to come home to his two babies. He wanted to come home to you, Mom. And he should have come home. But yet, law enforcement was used in a wrong way. And when we were in the midst of a domestic terrorist attack, there was questions as to why some were not at hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes.
Was it the population that they saw?
Yes.
Was it different from when Black Lives Matter came in June?
Yes.
To honor and to fight for George Floyd?
Tell it.
Is it wherever Black Lives Matter shows up? there's a different standard. Wherever our faces show up, there is a different standard. You see, I can compliment police when they're doing the right thing, because if you were running and needed some help, or your house was being broken in, you want the protect and serve officer to show up. You're glad for them to show up. You might even want your little babies to be part of that institution. But that is if they are protecting and serving. But I tell you, the glaringness of what happened on Wednesday has shown the light. And there is something that has to be fixed. And so I want to say to Ben Crump, I am so glad that you are on earth, because I never compare you, I won't put you in heaven. But you are the master fixer here on earth. And as long as you have to fix things, you won't have to worry about us in the United States Congress and the Congressional Black Caucus standing next to you, because we're going to fix it so that when those who wear the uniform police come and say that they are there only to protect and serve. They will not be shooting Joshua Feast in the back. They will not be leaving his babies without a daddy. Look at him. He is a precious child. He is a young man. He deserves to live. He deserves to live. I want him to be raised up. I want him to say Joshua Feast. Say his name as well. Joshua Feast. Joshua Feast. Joshua Feast. Joshua Feast. Joshua Feast.
Joshua Feast.
So I am here. I am here to be able to say that I want an America that is not two Americas. I want an America that the community sees policing in their eyes, and that policing is their story. I want an America that we do not have to gather one more time for a fleeing black man or black woman in her bed.
Amen.
Or a 12-year-old little boy in a park in Cleveland, Ohio.
My Lord.
Or a man who loved his family on the ground, both in New York with Eric Garner, and of course in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that earthquaked the world.
Amen.
Maybe some of you don't remember Abdou Diablo.
Yeah.
I was in New York
Yes, ma'am.
when this brother was in the dark area, unarmed, scared, and lost his life.
Yeah.
And so we've got to stop meeting this way, don't you think?
Amen.
We've got to stop having these kinds of stories and rallies. We need to be rallying because Joshua Feast had two little babies that he was able to watch graduate from high school. That's what we have to be celebrating. And so I have in my hand the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. I've become part of the Floyd family,
Yeah.
as I have become part of Miriam Tolan's family,
Yeah.
Pam Turner, the bravery of that family,
Yeah.
Danny Ray Jones, Thomas's family,
Yes, ma'am.
Sandra Bland's family. These are all in our area.
Yeah. Right here.
But we would rather not have the fixer have to come anywhere. He was doing very well, doing a great practice of law. But he dropped all of that. Ben Crump said enough is enough. If I have to fly over the world and the country to fix it, I'm going to do it. I want you to give him a big hand because all these families know that we got to call the fixer. And I promise Ben Crump that when he calls, we come. And so we are determined with your prayers and with your support to turn around the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act and make it law. No more chasing folk and shooting them in the back. De-escalation. No more no-knock warrants. Stopping, breaking into people's homes. No more having a situation where you're racially profiled. You're just walking down the block.
Amen.
You're just minding your business. And some people say your business. And all of a sudden they're asking you something and you're saying, well, why are you asking me? No more racial profiling. No more situations where you go into court and officers go into court and you invariably walk out the loser.
No more.
No more.
No more.
And let me be very clear. Just like in Washington, there was some folk putting up a fist fight. Our officers did not have the equipment they needed. There was some putting their life on the line. We lost an officer. I'm going to acknowledge that.
Yes.
But as we look deep into the details, we are going to have to find out why the troops did not come.
Yeah.
What happened that everybody's mouth got silent? Why didn't extra reinforcement come on the Capitol? Don't worry about Sheila Jackson Lee. On the Capitol of the United States.
All right.
The seat of government. The place where democracy is supposed to stand. And that's the same thing we say about our communities. We don't want unequal treatment.
Yeah.
We don't want to get some treatment in our neighborhood or lack thereof and something else another place.
Tell it.
We don't want the Klan getting greater status than us.
All right.
We don't want the folk who are in the mix of institutional racism to have greater status than us.
All right. Talk.
We don't want the people speaking about Nazism getting a greater place than us.
All right.
Because we too are America. Our boys have shed their blood on the line for the United States. They have died in uniform, in many different uniforms.
Yes.
So I wanted to come today, first of all, I just don't even know how to speak to this mother. I've seen and had too many mothers. We call them the mothers of the movement. We want to end that membership. But I do want to say to you, Lucretia, that even though you did not willingly come into that membership, you are not alone. And long live Josh is something that we'll remember. We can call these names off. We're tired of doing it, but we're not going to diminish his name and his presence just because we're tired. We're going to call his name over and over again. We're going to know that LaMarque is fighting for justice as well. And Brother Ben Crump, I'm going back to Washington. I'm making sure that we understand that in America, there will be no more double standards, no more 2 Americas, no more 3 Americas, no more 4 Americas, not because you're poor, not because you're black, not because you are Hispanic or Latinx, not because you're Asian, not because you're LGBTQ, not because you are in or out of faith, not 2, 3, 4 Americas. There is one America, one justice, and all of us deserve that justice. We in Washington have the duty and the obligation to listen to the voice of Lucretia, and long live Josh. We will get it done, and we will respect my brothers and George Floyd catastrophic volcanic presence when he died, and we will stop coming here to talk about a Josh, Tamir, or George, or Brianna. The fix-it man will lay down his tools.
Amen.
The fix-it woman will lay down hers, and they will lay them down happily, and we will live as heroic and proud people in this nation. There is no reason why the descendants of enslaved Africans cannot stand alongside our brothers and sisters who don't look like us and say, we too are America. We too are America. We too are America. Let me thank Black Lives Matter because we have worked with them. We want to thank the founders. We want to thank those who have carried this banner. We never stop and say thank you. I want to thank them as I thank the NAACP and thank the National Urban League and thank many others that are here, not leaving anybody out. We want to thank them. I do want to say to you that the Congressional Black Caucus will be the first organization that will investigate. Brother Crump will be there to speak. We will be investigating what happened on January 6, 2020. Why did it seem like there was a different standard of security and protection? We will do that dive, just as we will stand for you and Joshua. Long live Joshua. Thank you, pretty lady, and all of this handsome son. Looks like Joshua Jr. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. And he will know the love of this community, and we will watch him grow and graduate and make his place in this nation. And we will not say to him that there are 2 separate Americas or 3 or 4. We will say he too is America. God bless all of you, and yes, God bless LaMarque and Texas, and I'm going to ask for God to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Amen.